Hello and welcome to Nikolai's genetics lessons, and for the last few days I uploaded many problems about application of law of probability in order to solve genetics problems, but today's problem has nothing to do with genetics, but I want to use this example because it demonstrates two approaches in order to solve probability problems. So I think this would be interesting for those people who study biology and genetics, because modern biology is computational biology and we cannot imagine modern genetics without bioinformatics. So here's a problem. From a group of 3 boys and 3 girls, 4 children are to be randomly selected. What is the probability that equal numbers of boys and girls will be selected? And there are two approaches exist. I will go over the first one and then we'll show you the second one. The first approach would be assume that we have 6 children. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And here we have a classroom, and all these children sitting on the chairs in this classroom. And here you standing outside the classroom. You do not see what happens inside where children sitting. You just know that there are 3 boys and 3 girls inside this room, but you don't know which places they take. So first approach would be that you randomly pick up 4 children and ask them to leave the room and take these seats. So one seat, another one, third, and fourth. Because from our problem it is not clear whether you have to call boys and girls one by one, or you can call them 4 children simultaneously. So let's go over the example where you call them simultaneously 4 children out of 6. So once again we have 3 girls here and 3 boys. So boy, boy, and boy. So what is the probability that the first chair would be taken by boy or a girl? So basically there are 2 variants. It can be a boy or a girl. And second chair also can be taken by whether boy or girl, third and fourth. So if we multiply all these numbers, we are going to get 16. So total number of combinations would be 16. For example, here we can get a boy, a girl, a boy, a girl, or all children can be boys or girls. But here is the problem. We have only 3 girls here, so combination where we would have girl, 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 girl is not possible. We just don't have 4 girls to choose from these 6 people, and also we cannot get 4 boys. So first chair, second, third, and fourth also is not possible variant that we would have 4 boys according to our problem. That means we just have to exclude these 2 variants, and actually instead of 16 variants here we would get 14 variants. So in our example we have to choose out of 14 variants because we excluded these 2 variants from our calculations. So what other variants are possible? We may get 1 girl and 3 boys. We also may get 2 girls and 2 boys. And we also may get 3 girls and 1 boy. and we already listed variants, all 4 children girls and all 4 children boys, and we excluded this variant. So this is variant that is left. But if you would think that probability of each variant is equal, so 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3, this is not true. Or 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, and 1/5, this is not true. For example, take a look. We may get one girl here, and then boy, boy, and boy. Another variant would be that first child would be a boy, second would be a girl, then a boy and a boy. Another variant would be that first 2 children would be boys, then a girl and a boy. And the last variant, how we can have 1 girl and 3 boys, would be 3 first children boys and the last child would be girl. So as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4 variants are possible. Now let's take a look how many variants we have to have 2 girls and 2 boys out of 4 children. And the first variant would be girl, girl, and boy, boy. Second variant can be girl, boy, then girl and a boy. Next order can be a girl, a boy, and a girl. Another variant can be, first child can be a boy, then 2 girls and a boy. Yet another variant can be, once again, first child would be a boy, then a girl, a boy, and a girl. And the last variant would be 2 first children would be boys, and last 2 children would be girls. So let's count how many variants we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So compare. We have here 4 variants how we can have 1 girl and 3 boys. But we have 6 variants how we can get 2 girls and 2 boys. Now let's also list all the variants how we can get 3 girls and 1 boy. So first variant can be that first child is a boy, then 3 girls, girl, girl, and a girl. Another variant would be that the first child is a girl, then boy and girl, girl. Another variant would be that girl, girl, and a boy, and a girl. And the last variant would be that first 3 children would be girls, and the last would be a boy. So once again, here we had 1 girl and 3 boys, and we had 4 variants. Here we have 3 girls and 1 boy, and the same 4 variants here. So total number of combinations, as you see, 4 plus 4 plus 6 would be 14, plus 2 would be 16. But we excluded these 2 variants, that is not possible. And now probability that if we would pick up randomly 4 people and would ask them to come to us from this classroom, probability that this is going to be 2 boys and 2 girls would be, as you see, 6 out of 14. So 6 combinations out of 14 would be 2 girls and 2 boys. So we should look for the answer 6 out of 14, or we can reduce divide by 2, and this is going to be 3 sevens, which is the same number. So let's check our answers. Do we see 3 out of, or 6 out of 14? We do not see. Do we see 3 out of 7? We also do not see such an answer. That means that here we have a problem where we have to call each child one by one. And in this case, this would tremendously change our calculations. So once again, we just calculated probability that we would say that someone sitting on the place number 1, 3, 5, and 6, please come out, and we have found that probability that this is going to be 2 girls and 2 boys would be 3 out of 7. But because we don't have such an answer, this gives me information that we have to call these students or children one by one. So let's find out how this is going to change our calculations. So once again, we have a room. So here we have a room with 6 children. So girl, 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 and boy, boy, and boy. Once again, we are standing here outside of the room, and here we have 4 chairs, and we are looking for the probability that we will choose 2 boys and 2 girls in any sequence, but this time we call them one by one. For example, what is the probability that the first child we would call to come out of the room would be a girl? And as you see, probability would be 50%, because 50% of the children here are girls. Or we can say that 3 out of 6 are girls and 3 out of 6 are boys. Or this gives us probability to choose a girl 50% and probability to choose a boy also 50%. So probability that we would randomly, without looking into the room, and we will randomly would choose a girl would be 50% or 3 out of 6, which is 50%. So 3 out of 6 is the probability that we would randomly pick up a child from any chair that this child would sit on in the room, and this is going to be a girl. And also we have to exclude now this girl from our calculations, because this girl left the room. So now we have to call the second child, and what is the probability that this is going to be a girl? And this time probability would be 2 out of 5. So total number of children is 5. And probability that we will choose randomly girl would be 2 out of 5 left children. So once again, we have to exclude this person, because this person left a room. So now how many children left? 4 children. And now we are looking for the probability that we would have a boy. So we would pick up randomly a boy. What is the probability would be? And probability would be 3 out of 4 children. This is going to be probability that this time we will pick up a boy. So now let's cross out or delete one boy from our calculations, because this child just left the room and took a seat here. Now let's find a probability that next seat also would be occupied by boy. So what is the probability that we will randomly pick up without looking one child out of these three left children, and this is going to be a boy. And as you see, probability would be 2 out of 3, because 2 out of 3 children are boys. So now we can also delete this child from this classroom, because this child left and now took this place. So now because this is each probability is independent, we have to multiply these independent probabilities. So 3 multiplied by 2 would be 6, multiplied by 3 would be 18, and multiplied by 2 would be 36. So 36, and here we have 6 multiplied by 5 would be 30, multiplied by 4 would be 120, and multiplied by 3 would be 360. Or we can say this is 1/10. But as you remember, this is not the only variant possible. We also may get other variants, for example, that the first place would be taken by a girl, then would be taken by a boy, then a girl and a boy. Still we have 2 girls and 2 boys, which meets requirements of our problem. And as you remember, 6 such variants exist. Let's list all of them. So girl, boy, boy and a girl, then a boy, a girl and a boy, then a boy, a girl, a boy and a girl. And another variant would be a boy and a girl and a girl. So let's count. 1 variant, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. And probability of each variant would be the same as in our previous calculations, because change of the position doesn't change our calculation. So 1/10 probability of this variant, 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 and 1/10 probability of this variant, and 1/10 probability of this variant. So in order to calculate probability that we would randomly pick up 4 children and 2 of them would be boys and 2 would be girls, we have to add all these probabilities. So 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10 and plus 1/10. Or we can multiply 1/10 6 times. So we are going to get 6/10, and this is going to be our final answer. Or we also can reduce this number by 2, and we are going to get 3/5. Let's now check our answers. And as you see, this is answer D, 3/5. So now we can come to conclusion that this problem assumes that we have to call children one by one. If we call children one by one, probability to choose 2 boys and 2 girls would be 3/5. But if we would ask 4 children to stand up and walk out and would choose randomly chairs on which children sit, probability would be 3/7. Now I hope after my explanation you would understand this type of problems better. And this is all for today. Thank you for your attention. Please subscribe for my new videos that I post almost every day. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please write your comments, questions if you have any. Share this video with your classmates and see you in the next video. Goodbye.